Yeah, I'm going to show you a device that I just bought, and I want to emphasize how important it is to uh, learn about this because I've been trying to research so much about energy storage, uh, making your own devices with electricity. I've done videos all about, crystal batteries, all sort of cement batteries, dirt batteries, and everything. And when I was doing that, I caught on to the concept of what I needed to do and the problems I came across, and to make it more efficient, make it better. So one video I had broke open a new world for me, and I really feel like this is missing in our schools, and there are many reasons for that, and missing in our general public knowledge, and there are reasons for that as well. And we're starting to wake up to it in general, and I've been trying to I've been talking to more people about it, and people are becoming more aware that there is greater technology that we can have our hands on out there that is just absolutely amazing. And that first experiment that I did proved everything that I knew was wrong, or at least it was. We're not taught in general public the potential of our technology. A lot of this technology is already out there. It's already available and used in other things, but it's always limited, or it always has some kind of planned obsolescence in it, so it either corrodes or it breaks or something. So, and we're all catching on to this in our products that we use, especially batteries and generation of power. Energy is number one in becoming independent. If we are all independent with energy and all these things, energy being one of the first and top priorities, then we wouldn't have to worry about what politicians are doing, or what, you know, or any of these other problems that we have, because we're independent with energy. And on a worldwide scale, I think big corporations, and they all know this, and their corporation would go out of business, and you see it everywhere. So it's in the medical system. It's in all of this. So we're inundated with all of this misinformation, or a downplay, or a putting, kind of sweeping under the rug new technology, new ideas, or the potential of the new technology that we already have. And this is an example of one. I'm going to open this box. This is one thing that I had in mind to get. It was a little more expensive than a normal just a battery, but batteries are an interesting subject because we buy these batteries, they corrode over time, or they get dirty or whatever, and within a few years to 10 years or whatever, we have to buy new ones, or stuff like that, or they're limited in their speed of charging, or there's always something that's limited. So but what we have to do is, the only way to do this and to find new technology and to be able to share it, is to do it ourselves. We have to individually do our own research. We have to figure it out. We have to understand it, and then invent it ourselves, or recognize other people who are inventing it. And as I did my own experiments, and I did videos on this, with cement batteries, dirt batteries, sand batteries, I was just experimenting with everything. And there was one time I took a little capacitor from a computer, and I have a little video on this, and I zeroed out the power in the thing. I shorted it out so I knew it was zero, and then I took my little dirt battery cell, and I put it on there for about a minute or something. I put my multimeter back on that capacitor, and it charged it a little bit. I'm like, wow, there's potential in that technology, and we have power sources everywhere. We don't have to use solar all the time. or if there's like a cloudy day, our solar panels can still draw in power and charge something if it's a fast charging system. So since our batteries are limited, or there's some kind of thing that'll break or corrode or whatever, we don't have that capability of using multiple sources. But with this thing, it is a capacitor based module, and this is a guy, I'll show his website and everything. He has a video talking all about this stuff, all about his module and other things that he's doing for generating power or storing power. This is a capacitor based storage unit. Is used much like just a regular battery, like a deep cycle battery, but it is the fraction of the size, and it is just like a little amplifier for your stereo or something, or like a car radio for communication. But it's very compact, and the video that this guy, he talks all about it. He opens it up, he shows you what's in there, shows you exactly why it's how it works and why it's way better. This charges at a fraction of the time that a normal, like a deep cycle marine battery would. And I'm still learning about this, honestly, but from what I've experimented with, I was looking into the future. Like as I was doing the experiments, I'm like, what's the possibility? What's the potential of this? If I could just make it more refined, more compact, more efficient, how can I get the most power out of this from, the smallest amount of material, or what kind of materials are the best? And then I was coming across other videos on people that were ahead of me in this. So even though I didn't have another lifetime to experiment and try to figure this out, I at least recognized other people doing it, and I believed what they were doing because I did my own experiments. So we're not going to find this in the mainstream education or consciousness, and there are always people that are downplaying new technology, new ideas, and all these things. And every time I do a technology video, something that is experimental or the potential of something, I always get a comment in the comments below. I might even get one on this video about people downplaying it. They said, you don't know what you're talking about, you don't know the law of thermodynamics, any list of things. If this technology was out there, all these businesses would, it'd be $1 billion thing, and all these businesses would go out of business. Exactly. If this technology was out there, it would take a lot of businesses out, and a lot of major corporations would go down. And I'm not, I'm really concerned about just humanity, and this would solve a lot of problems. If we're independent with energy and power, then we have independence. We don't have to have civil wars. We don't have to be fighting over things, or politicians, or wondering if they're going to solve our problems or not. So this is going to be one of the major things that can help us become that independent. So I'm going to just share a little bit of a video of this guy, and I'll put this link down below. And I don't know if you can see this, but I'm just going to play it.
In order to advance the concept technology of energy storage, we need to think differently about the current options available. The three key factors are fast charging of energy density, longevity of charge cycles, and safe, non-hazardous materials. These two supercapacitors both fit this criteria and are exactly the same in energy storage capacity, except the former state-of-the-art on the left has now been replaced by the new state-of-the-art graphene supercap on the right. Both of these supercapacitors are 2.7 volts at 3,000 farads. 14 of the graphene caps could fit inside the space of the old one, which would equal 2.7 volts at 42,000 farads. That's a huge difference. Our new 16-volt supercap module has 24 pieces inside of it. What you're seeing under the lid is 2 series connected groups of 6 graphene caps each. Another 12 more are underneath these. By pressing the momentary switch on the left, you can see what the state of the charge is at any time. We offer these modules at our website as single units, or you can purchase a stack of 2 or as many as you want. As a point of relativity, these 2 totally different products are close in size and have the same capacity of energy storage. Both are 72 watt hours. The greatest difference is that lithium ion has very short life cycle and may require 30 minutes or more to charge, while a graphene module will charge in 5 to 10 minutes. That would be a major advantage for solar and EV applications.
Okay, just that little bit of information is going to be enough to get you started on stuff like this. With my little experiments, with my little homemade batteries, now those has potential to be able to charge something like this whenever there is a cloudy day or no sun at all at night. And even the solar power on a cloudy day would still have the capacity of charging this one unit. I only had enough money for this one unit. It was $290, and then shipping was like $40. So it turned out to be like $333 something dollars. And so I'm going to do a lot of just testing my own kind of experiments. Concept is amazing. Basically, I took one of these earth batteries and I hooked up one of these capacitors to it and put the multimeter on there, made sure the capacitor was drained, and then I put one of these cells, attached it on there just for a few seconds, and it charged it a little bit. So I know this has a capability of charging these capacitors, and so I know it works just from these little tests. It's just a matter of getting it more efficient and lasting longer and making it look a little more compact. This capacitor is what I got off of the computer, and right now got 0.23 volts on it. So I'm going to short it out and then drain it. I'm going to put it on this connection here on the earth battery or the cement battery, and then I'm going to see right now it has zero volts. So now I'm just going to put it on this for just a few seconds. So I'll just keep it on there for, I don't know, maybe like 15 seconds, and then just see if there's a difference on the voltage. And if there is, then you have a charge on the capacitor, which, if you're not familiar with what a capacitor is, it's just like a battery, like a kind of a short-term battery. It just holds the charge for a little bit, but you could charge it back up. So I put it on there for like 15 seconds. Then I'm just gonna see how many volts it has now. So already it like went over. So now there's like 8 volts in it. That's pretty awesome. I didn't expect that, actually. So there is a guy that's making really efficient ones that are small. Same concept. I just wanted to go over this very simple concept because you could pretty much use pretty much anything. I mean, you could just get a multimeter and just test things out. But I had an idea to make it more efficient and use capacitors, and then just use LED lights and switch back and forth, charging a capacitor and then using the light on it and then charging the other one at the same time, so it switches back and forth. You know, an idea like that, and it keeps running and it charges itself as this cement battery or whatever battery's recovering. So with this guy, he's already ahead of me, so I'm kind of watching what he does. And I'm going to get as far as I can with it, but you can just keep going with your experiments. So honestly, I was a little nervous just because it's new technology, but, or I mean, not new technology, but new independent guy, you know, there's so much misinformation you get tainted with. It's almost like an abused person. You think everybody's abusive and giving you misinformation and deceiving you, but there's people, if you have discernment, if you have, I pray about it a lot, so I try to have discernment in finding this technology, because I know it has to be out there, or I could discover it and understand it for myself. So and I always ignore the naysayers. I always do. So guarantee there's going to be somebody who's going to say something negative or something about it, like, don't look out there, don't look for new technology, we already know it. And I know everything, I know what's possible and not possible. Okay, yeah, don't listen to that. So anything's possible. This guy's store is right here. This is where I bought it from. I'll put this link down below, and then I just clicked on this little thing here. These are his prices right now. And he, in his videos, he talks all about what he's doing, all of his technology, all the possibilities, and this is where it's at. So he's been doing this for about 10 months, been selling it for about 10 months. He's had people already buying them all around the world, is what he said. And when I reached out to him, I said, I bought one of your modules. I'm going to be doing a video on it, and I'll do another video later when I've done more experiments with it. But he tells me there's like a little communication between me and him. It helped me relax a little bit, because I get a feel for his character, and what he's doing. And he's on his website, there's frequently asked questions, and he said on one of them, he said that he's not interested in investors or anything like that. He wants to grow on his own organically, and that was a key thing for me to know, that what he's doing is honest, because people like this doing a new technology or a new thing like this that's actually really revolutionary. This is just the first step. This is not anything really new, but I could tell people are working on new things that will revolutionize things, and usually they get bought out, or they get enough money or whatever, and then the big corporations, they own it and control it anyways, and then they implement something that's limited or something to the public, and we don't really get anything really that awesome in the public. I mean, we see kind of things that are kind of coming out as long as they control and earn all the money as technology comes out. So they have their strings attached to pretty much anything they produce. But anything that would cause the public and individuals to actually become independent, they're not interested in. So that never comes up in their meetings, it never comes up in their philosophy, so as they invent this stuff. But he was talking about we're processing your order, and we'll most likely ship tomorrow. I'll send you the tracking number. It's quite common to be skeptical regarding new technology. Don't be nervous about your purchase. These modules are awesome. We've been shipping them worldwide for 10 months now, and have many repeat customers who were also skeptical at first. The uses vary from home energy storage integration, EV, marine, light aircraft, battery replacement, and many others. So just watch the videos that he does, and then there's other things he's working on as well. I'm anticipating what he's doing. I've had some other ideas that he's working on. I'm like, I wish I had another life to work on this, but I don't have time to do all this stuff. But I could recognize people are doing it, and the honest people. So this is like a fraction of the size of a marine battery. Probably like 5 of these would be the size of a marine battery, or even more. I don't know, 5 or 6 of them. And this is just as useful as one marine battery, as far as what I know right now. So compact, and it has these mounts, screw mounts, so you could screw it onto a wall, and super convenient, and also is small enough to go into my little Pelican briefcase here, and waterproof. And so this could be set aside for any vehicle, and he talks about this as well. It'll start a car. You could use it for a lot of things. So I could fit probably another one with some extra little accessories, like an inverter or something like that, for plug-in power for anything. So amazing. I at least wanted to point this out. I know I'm not going to get to testing this today, but I have a lot of ideas that I want to use to get this, to see what the possibilities are, especially with my experimentation with my own generation of, a trickle of power. It will just be able to be useful with that storage. It's important for me to point out the graphene part of this module. One of the things that I was doing with my experiments with my cement batteries, my crystal batteries, whatever it was, there was always a problem with conductivity between the crystals and the metals, and the metal plates for the battery. And I learned that to get it more efficient and more powerful, you've got to have the crystal layer as thin as possible. And so I was trying to work with thinner materials and trying to make a material so it would conduct also with the metals that I had on there. And this graphene, if you haven't done any research on it, the graphene is a form of graphite. And graphite is a mineral that has properties of metal, and it also has a capacitance, or a ability to store energy. So it has like the perfect dual purpose and potential for use in batteries. So I'm still learning about this, but basically I was heading in that direction. I was learning about what materials I could use that are way more efficient and way better, and will solve those problems. And so that's why people are going in to the direction of graphene, which is a very, very fine, it's even finer than just powder graphite. And I've seen people make graphene in different ways, and I'm still learning about that, but it turns into kind of a foam, really, really thin. So this quantum magnetics guy who made this, he was buying capacitors with the graphene in it. So these are graphene capacitor. That's why it's called graphene supercapacitor. So the capacitor is made of the material graphene. And so when I bought this, I had some confidence in knowing that, this is real stuff. This is where the good direction that it's going. And I've already had some ideas of how I could charge this thing, even with resources I already have. And this huge solar panel I could use. So it's a 238 watts that it pulls out, or generates. I even thought of using my smaller solar panel, and it would probably just do just as well. And then I had even a smaller one for backpacking, this solar panel, and it has a bunch of attachments for charging things. And I thought, well, this can probably do just as well. I have to test this, but this will probably just do just as well as in my little, power box here, portable power box. and I could charge the super cap module with just this goal zero solar panel, and it'll just fit right in there. So that's just one little idea. I want to put it into my shed, tiny house type thing, and see how it would run there. That's just a couple ideas and potential with this thing. So I just want to emphasize the importance of this, because every day I'm just like, I need to find this technology. I want to like either invent it or understand it so I could, and I want to support guys like this. Men and women, children even. Saw a 12-year-old on the news a while back, and he was inventing his own earth battery, and they were like, oh, how does this work, and he was just putting on these LED lights around his body, and he was like, yeah, they're lighting up because of the earth battery thing. And yeah, he had a AC converter, a Joule thief on it, so it'd amplify the amperage and stuff. So I'm like, I already know what that kid's doing, and he seemed like he was 12 or 13 years old. So if you get these young people getting going on this, their imagination goes crazy about the potential of it. So this is just the first step. So I'm going to be doing a lot more. I have so many more ideas on so many other aspects of our lives: heating, cooling, water storage, or water gathering or collecting, air wells, all these things that we depend on. And the technology and the ideas and the potential out there is so amazing that I can't grasp it fast enough. So at least do your own research. Don't listen to anybody who says it's not possible or there's no potential, or they act like they're really smart, but they're just trying to steer you in a direction that is either confusing or you have to rely on them. But we could understand this stuff. It's like super simple, the simple concept of it. It's not like school with all these huge formulas that you have to memorize for. It's very just in your garage, experimental, just experimenting with ideas. So just stay safe and keep searching, keep staying curious, just like a little child. And these things are the key to freedom. So if we have our independence, we will have our freedom. God bless you.